It has got to be wild, wild to live in poverty and be in one of these forced birth anti-choice states as a born child. If you are in the womb, cool, they're going to go hard to protect you. But once you're out of the womb, they don't give a. Okay. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced Wednesday that nearly 21 million children will receive expanded grocery benefits this summer across all but 15 states. The USDA said summer 2024 will be the first launch of its new permanent grocery program for children called Summer Electronic Benefit Transfer. The states will give eligible families $40 per month for each child under the new program, which Congress approved in 2022. Keep in mind, $40 does not go very far in this economy and this inflation. Yeah, that's not very much. Summer grocery benefits are becoming a reality for many communities across the nation and for tens of millions of children who will receive the nutrition they need to grow, learn, and thrive, the Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack said. 35 states, 5 territories, and 4 Native American tribes opted into the program this summer. The USDA said the program would cover approximately 70% of eligible children in its inaugural launch, and that it hopes to continue expanding. 15 states did not opt into the program, with many Republican state officials saying that their state did not need the funds or that they did not have the capability to run this program. Those states include Alabama, Alaska, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nebraska, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Vermont, and Wyoming. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds suggested that the state did not need the program, pointing to the high rates of childhood obesity as a reason why they should not expand grocery benefits to children. Let's put them on a diet by making sure that they don't have enough food. Great plan. Federal COVID era cash benefit programs are not suitable and don't provide long-term solutions for the issues impacting children and families, but restricting money that's being given by the government does. An EBT card does nothing to promote nutrition at a time when childhood obesity has become an epidemic. She said if the federal government wants to help family well-being, it should invest in already existing programs and infrastructure at the state level and give us flexibility to tailor them to our state's needs. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen emphasized that his state would not take extra funds, pointing to already existing summer nutrition programs for children in the state. COVID-19 is over, and Nebraska taxpayers expect that pandemic-era government and relief programs will end too. To be clear, this does not mean that hungry kids will lose access to summer nutrition programs. Nebraska continues to participate in existing USDA Summer Food Services Program, which best ensures access to nutritious food options and protective services to children who are in need. Gotta love these forced birth, anti-choice, pro-life people. They just care so much. Their hearts are just, you know what? These kids are obese, so let's make sure that they don't get food. Gotta love these people. You guys go ahead and weigh in on this one. I didn't know anything about Keith Lee until he took Atlanta by storm and put them in a stranglehold. But it says, celebrity food critic with 15.6 million followers abandons Bay Area trip because it's too dangerous, says crime-ridden San Francisco and Oakland are filled with tent. The Bay Area food tour is officially over, prematurely, the content creator said before explaining the 3 major reasons behind his decisions. He added, I truly don't believe the Bay is a place for tourists right now. The people of the Bay are just focused on surviving. The amount of tents and living structures and burnt out cars that we saw people living in was shocking, to say the least. Just from the outside looking in, it don't seem like it was much of a city, like it was much city interference. This is one of the pictures that was in the story. Beware pickpockets and loose women. Okay. The available food in the Bay Area was also not up to standard, Lee said, explaining that he went to 6 food spots and decided to not review because he had nothing constructive to say. He said, I've always been big on honesty. I've always been big on transparency, but I've never been big on completely tearing down anybody. And I feel like those 6 videos were only doing that. Lee claimed if he can't post the videos, he would lose money he invested on the trip. Finally, Lee shared that he was hospitalized after suffering an allergic reaction to the food he was served in the Bay Area. He claimed he asked the restaurant to clean the grill after cooking shellfish, but he blew up like a balloon after eating his meal. Lee had previously claimed he was not concerned about his trip to the Bay, posting a TikTok where he shared social media comments showing people warning him about safety there. I go where I feel like I'm supposed to go. I go by faith and not by sight. And I heard a lot of people calling the Bay Gotham City. And the way my mind works, that's even more reason for me to go, he said before the trip. And this was a picture of the emergency room when he went because he had that allergic reaction. He says, I was born and raised in inner city Detroit. It taught me that the toughest situations breed the toughest people, so I'm still extremely excited to see what the Bay offers. The Bay has been on a downward spiral in recent years with countless businesses shutting down. Robberies in Oakland, where a pew-pew was used, increased by 37% in 2023. Moreover, burglaries were up 24%, and carjacking surged by 45%, an all-time record for Oakland. Last month, a businessman had both his businesses and his car broken into in the same week. A recent report showed 95 retailers in downtown San Francisco have closed since the start of the pandemic, a decline of more than 50% from 2019. Whew. Office vacancy rates have hit a record high of 34% in September as shops are driven out of downtown area by heightened crime, and economists warn that there's a spiraling urban doom loop that is not good for California. Looting specifically became a huge problem for the city, while rampant theft caused downfall of San Francisco's main shopping area, Union Square, and forced many major change and local businesses to permanently close their doors. So, like I said, this is why Keith Lee went and abandoned ship, basically. You guys go ahead, jump in the comments, and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, so I saw this story yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get to it. Aaron Rodgers ousted from Pat McAfee show after false claims connecting Jimmy Kimmel to JeffEp. The New York quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, will not appear on the Pat McAfee show for the remainder of the NFL season. Pat McAfee announced on Wednesday on his show after Rodgers made headlines for baselessly suggesting that the nighttime television host Jimmy Kimmel had connections to JeffEp. So if you watch any news, you see that there's an unsealing that has been unraveling for the last few days. And Aaron Rodgers just came out and just connected Jimmy Kimmel for whatever reason in relation to Epstein's wrongdoing. McAfee said he would love to move on from this situation and said the show was lucky to get a chance to chat with Rodgers and learn from him. I guess his show must be getting some backlash. People must be coming for him. And he's like, not going to be us. We're going to have to let you go, partner. The decision to boot Rodgers from his regular Tuesday appearances on the show was because of his recent behavior, not because of the end of the NFL season, an unnamed person familiar with the matter told CNN. So they wanted to make it clear that it's because of this situation. An ESPN spokesperson told Forbes that McAfee addressed the situation and the network won't be making any further comments on the matter. Crucial quote. So Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, season 4 is done. McAfee said Wednesday. There could be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included. To be honest with you, the way it ended, it got real loud. Big number, more than $1 million. That's how much the Pat McAfee show has paid Rodgers for his appearance on the program, McAfee said in October. The headlines involving Rodgers, McAfee, and Kimmel originally started last week when the NFL quarterback went on the Pat McAfee show and said, there's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, including Jimmy Kimmel, who are really hoping the list of unsealed names doesn't come out. Adding, if that list comes out, I definitely will be popping some sort of bottle. Kimmel responded by calling Rodgers an a-hole on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and threatening to take legal action against Rodgers. Keep it up, and we will debate the facts further in court. Like, if you want to talk about the unsealing of this list, why are you pulling names out your butt before even seeing the list? That is wild. That's definitely defamation. I don't know why people want folks to apologize for stuff that they actually believe, but Kimmel demanded Rodgers apologize and said Rodgers likely didn't believe Kimmel was an associate of Epstein, but was upset with Kimmel because he previously made fun of the football star for his lies about being vaccinated. On Tuesday, Rodgers made his weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee show and stopped short of apologizing to Kimmel. Rodgers said Kimmel and others took his comments out of context and said he did not believe that Kimmel was a Frito. Why even just pull a name out of your butt then? That literally makes no sense to me. So then this article was put out 2 days ago. Rodgers doubles down, refuses to apologize to Jimmy Kimmel for these comments. Controversy-prone New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers refused to apologize to late-night hosts. Like, why do y'all want him to apologize anyway? He doesn't feel wrong. This is what the... Okay, let's keep going. So, like I just said, Kimmel is floating legal action based on his words, and that's why Rodgers got sacked. Okay, I know that was... Rodgers explained that the spat with Kimmel did not begin last week when his comments went viral, but instead began in the early COVID days when Kimmel made jokes about Rodgers being unvaccinated. He also said many people misunderstood what he was trying to say and took his remarks out of context. Rodgers went on to say that he does not think that Kimmel is a Frito and wants to move forward. Crucial quote, any kind of name calling, that's ridiculous, Rodgers said Tuesday of people calling Kimmel a Frito. I'm not calling Kimmel one, and neither should you. Well, why did you connect his name with this man? During a Monday night monologue, Kimmel demanded Rodgers apologize, and I've already talked about this, but I don't understand why you're going to make somebody apologize for what they truly feel. We shall see how this ends up, but maybe since Rodgers got sacked, Kimmel won't go after the Pat McAfee show. I don't know anything about the Pat McAfee show, how they lean, but if they have someone like Aaron Rodgers, who I guess is controversial, they, maybe they will still face something, but I don't know. We shall see. You guys go ahead and weigh in on this one. And don't forget to like, comment, and share.